In this podcast, we are going to talk to Gaurav, who is a long term family member of Unfold Data Science. And Gaurav is with us since he was not having a job 3 years back, and today he is sitting at a very high package. We will try to understand how Gaurav looked for job when he was a fresher, how he has made the job changes, what was his strategy, what was his thoughts. All these things we are going to learn in this podcast. Please ensure you watch till end and please post all your questions to Gaurav directly in his LinkedIn or through the comments. Let's start. Hi everyone. So let's welcome Gaurav at Unfold Data Science again. And I spoke with Gaurav 3.5 years back. So I'm pasting the link of that video as well. You can watch that. Meanwhile, we will just get started with the podcast and welcome Gaurav to Unfold Data Science and let's start. Would you like to talk about yourself a bit?
Yep. Um, Thanks, sir. Thanks for inviting me here. And yeah, my name is Gaurav Kamble, and I'm born and brought up in Kolhapur, Maharashtra. I have been working as a data scientist for more than 3 years now, and I have experience working in both MNC and a startup. The thing that separates me from most of the data scientists would be that I managed to get a data scientist job as a fresher without any course or certification and without proper guidance as well. Yeah, just in case the audience isn't aware, I gave a live mock interview on this very channel 3.5 years ago, as Aman sir said, and this would be our fourth collab video in this channel. Yes. And yeah, as always, looking forward to having a fruitful conversation. And yeah.
Great, Gaurav. Yeah, this is basically fourth conversation we are having. We did some interviews and some more discussions, and we keep doing those. So basically, how did you first encountered Unfold Data Science channel, and how did you watch some of the initial videos? Anything about that you want to talk?
Definitely. It was during the COVID times when Sir took an initiative to take mock interviews of budding aspiring data scientists. Like there'll be a mock interview every week. So I used to follow that. When I was preparing my data science journey, right? In my data science journey, when I was preparing, right? So I was scrolling through YouTube videos, and I got one fine day I came across this live interview, and there I found out ki okay, this is what is going on. You're taking mock interviews for the aspiring data scientists who want to come into this field, right? And there I was one of the audiences who would comment the answers of the questions asked, right? So, and later did I realize that okay, even I know a few concepts, right? Well, maybe I might be also ready for the interview. So yeah, I filled the form, and I guess in a week or two, Aman sir scheduled the interview. And yeah, from there onwards, I've been a part of Unfold Data Science throughout my journey. Apart from this, the interview, those interview series, right? Aman sir has all those, machine learning, deep learning, NLP playlist, right? Where he has explained most of the concepts which you will require to get into data science. So I used to follow that during my journey, and over the past 3 years, too, he has uploaded more and more informative videos. So Aman sir has helped me a lot during my journey as well. Yeah.
Thanks, Gaurav. So, people who are watching this, maybe from colleges and maybe freshers who are looking to start their careers. So, we will go little detail in understanding what it takes to get the first job, because all of us know that first job is what is most difficult, and then the ball starts rolling. So, what kind of struggle did you face? What kind of disappointment? What kind of challenges did you face in your first job, and when you were applying for the first job, and how did you achieve that basically?
Yeah. Like I said, there was not proper guidance for me, right? And being a fresher, it was already very hard. I wanted to get into data science somehow, and there was no clear path. So I somehow managed to study, but when it came for applying for jobs, right, then that is the phase where I struggled the most, because my resume wasn't up to the mark. Then I didn't know there were so when you start applying for jobs, there are so many distractions. You have so many platforms where you can apply for jobs, and people recommend you certain platforms which work for them, and didn't work, might not work for you, and you go through more and more demotivational phase in your life. So same thing happened with me. um, I was applying for jobs on multiple job platforms. So like the ones which nobody might have even heard of, because I was so much desperate into getting into data. So whatever I see, whatever a single any job opening I see, I would just apply. Be it fresher, experience, whatever, doesn't matter. I just want to get into data science field. So that was my approach. But like, I made mistakes, I learned from them, and what I did is, at the end, I stick to only to LinkedIn. At that time, Naukri wasn't up to that mark. I didn't know how to basically use it efficiently. So LinkedIn was the platform which helped me in scheduling like 3 to 4 interviews at that time. And I
We are
what I
talking
used
about
to do.
2021, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
When I was a fresher, right?
Hmm.
So what I used to do is, I at the initial phase, I would see a job description and I would apply it right away. No resume tweaking, no asking for referrals, nothing. So what I used to do is, like, eventually I had applied for more than 500 companies, I guess. 500 jobs I had applied, and not a single response I would get. Everywhere it would be, unfortunately, we will not be moving ahead with your application. All these mails. It was very frustrating. But then what I did is, like, once if you don't know anything about a field, right, you should ask the ones who are already working in that field.
Correct.
So that's what I realized later, in my later phase, and that's what I started doing. I approached people on LinkedIn, asked them, this is what I'm doing, and can you help me in this? So it will happen most of the time. People won't respond to you, but you just want that 1 or 2 responses, right, to bring yourself back on the track. Right. And then I consulted you as well. I asked you, like, this is my referral message. Any changes do you recommend on this? So it was a very long referral message. So you told me to cut it short, be very more, keep it short and concise, on to the point, up to the point. And yeah, that's how I uh, gradually improved on my mistakes. And the platform which really helped me was LinkedIn. So applying for jobs and asking for referrals um, on LinkedIn itself. So yeah, this
Hmm.
was.
So
So
from yeah, you got your
I
interview
got
call from LinkedIn itself. First job.
yes, yes, yes. I got 3 to 4 job interview calls, I guess, from LinkedIn. It's all from LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So that is the power of LinkedIn actually. You directly get in touch with recruiters, you directly get in touch with hiring managers and so on and so forth.
Yeah. True.
Okay. So that is about your initial job hunting and experiences and challenges, etc. How about now you are having 3+ years of industry experience. So what do you think is the most important skill for people in data science in the range of, let's say, 0 to 5 years experienced? What do you suggest people who are freshers or 0 to 5 years people? They should master these things, then their life will be good or easy or progressive.
Okay. Um, See, there are lot many things in data science, right? So if I talk about technical terms, we have, like, stats, ML, deep learning. Python coding, that aspect is there. But if you ask me, the most important skill a fresher should have would be a problem solving mindset, right? So be it any data science project or any project for that matter, what a fresher should focus on is understanding the problem statement. Okay, this is what the problem is, and like and you should go a step ahead, and you should discover that, okay, like what will, if I solve this problem, what benefit will it cause for, um, uh, what benefit my solution will be for this problem, right? So let's say, for example, let's take any basic classification example, right? So 0 or 1, what my 0 is, what my 1 is, right? And this should be his mindset, to give answers to the problems in a data approach, in a data approach manner. So yeah, like more than the statistical terms, more than the coding, more than the machine learning algorithms, all these things. What a recruiter is expecting from a fresher candidate is his problem solving mindset. This is what I feel, and this is what I experienced as well in my interview. So you can be, you can mess up a bit in your technical rounds, but if the recruiter has the confidence that yeah, you can do well if you get hired, right? If he has this problem solving mindset, right? Maybe he is low at a few technical things, but yeah, like he knows how to approach a problem in a very efficient manner, right? If that confidence he gets, he can bypass your technical expertise.
Yeah, very true. So today I did a session on some interview questions and how to answer them, one live session. And I kept questions and then the intention for which interviewer asks certain things. So for example, sometimes interviewer may ask you, how do you manage the shifting priorities in your project? And it's a very common scenario. So sometimes leadership will tell you do this, other time leadership will tell you do this. How do you manage the shifting priorities in your project? So these kind of questions, when it is thrown to you, that is where you have to showcase your problem solving skills, how you can prioritize right things, how you can take the ownership of the things. So that is exactly what Gaurav is pointing here.
Yeah.
So tell me one thing, Gaurav. There are many college students who are watching this right now, and they don't have any exposure to industry, and they don't have any, they don't know how things work in the market, right? And they want to start their career in data science. And as you know, many companies don't go and hire freshers in college as data scientists. So how they should plan their study, or how they should plan coming to the market, looking for a job? Should they go to something else and then switch within the organization to data science, or what would be your suggestion in this?
Yeah. Looking at the job market right now, I would not recommend the budding data science, freshers or the candidates who want to come in this field. I would not recommend them to go directly for the data scientist roles or ML engineer role for that matter. But I would moreover recommend them to, somehow get into IT to remove that fresher tag, as you always recommend, right? So maybe as a, even if it is a testing job, if even if it is a QA or a SD, or maybe a data analyst would do, right? So somehow if you break into the IT field and you remove that fresher tag, right, the chances of you getting hired, maybe you being promoted in the same company, or you switching after you've gained 1 or 2 years of experience, that would be much easier for you than jumping right away as a fresher, as a data, expecting a data scientist job. Because the thing is, the job market right now is not stable, right? There's still layoffs happening, and all these things are going on. My time during COVID was totally different, right? So there was a sudden boom in data science, right? And there was a lot of opportunities as well. And I would consider the, a bit of luck as well, in luck factor as well in my journey. But that might not be the case in most of the candidates. So yeah, I would not, I'm not discouraging you guys, but I'm telling you that if don't restrict yourself that I want a data scientist job itself as a fresher. If you really want to get into data science field itself, you can be you can try for roles like data analyst, right? Database administration, which is fairly easy to get into than any data scientist role.
Yeah, that's a great advice actually. So uh, don't restrict yourself that I'll work in only MNCs, or I will not work below this salary, or I will work only as a data scientist. These kind of restrictions you should not have when you are a fresher, because nobody wants fresher in their organization. First opportunity you want, you get, you just grab it, and from there you play your game how you want to move forward. So,
Right.
Gaurav, you mentioned a little bit about how the industry had changed from 2021 to today, and I have also observed, I have spoken about this many times. So, if I remember correctly, 5 years back, if you search data science in LinkedIn, you will get close to maybe 800K or 900K profiles. Today, if you search, you will get close to maybe 2 million or more than that profiles.
Mhm.
So how do you think, because you have attended many interviews also in these 3 years, right? How do you think the market is changing, the interview pattern is changing, and so on?
Yeah. So when I was being interviewed, right, people were the recruiters were focused more on the fundamental part, right? Like how good are you at stats? How good are you at basic coding, programming, right? And your basic machine learning algorithms, and deep learning, CNN, RNN, NLP was an option. So even if you don't know that, even if you're like you have little to no knowledge about these technologies, it was good. It was fine. They would be considering at that time. But right now, how the interview pattern has been shifted is like they take you granted that you are very well versed with the fundamentals, and you should be knowing all the cutting edge technologies, like NLP, Gen AI, right? So people are recruiters are focusing more on the cutting edge technologies. And earlier, when I was being interviews, recruiters were mostly focused on the fundamentals. This is what I feel or
Fundamentals, and
experience.
also your experience has changed. So that time you would be attending for a fresher role, and now you are attending for, let's say, a 3 year guy. So
Yeah.
that way also level of things will change.
Right, right, totally.
So coming to the reflections of your journey and the advice to people, what is the how much do you think networking is important, and how much do you think mentorship and meetups and end of it the network is important?
Yeah, I would rate networking mentorship at a very higher scale. The reason being, when I was a fresher, like at the beginning of my journey, right, I didn't know anything. I started from searching what is data science from YouTube. There was not a single person I could reach out to and ask, for guidance. Like, I want to get into this field. What all steps should I follow? What all things should I learn? Right. So if there's a person who can guide you properly, if there are like-minded people surrounding you, your journey would be very smooth. I had to learn everything, from my. I would do mistakes, and I would wait for the results, and then later would I realize ki no, this is the wrong approach. I need to take some other approach, right? I need to try this approach, right? So this was like a bit frustrating as well. The only reason I somehow survived in my job hunting journey was that I was very much motivated like I want to get into this field anyhow. I'm ready to sacrifice my 1 or 2 years for this, but I want a job in this field. So I was very much stubborn to getting into data science. But if you have a proper guidance, if you have a network of like-minded people, right, your job will be, I'm telling you, it would be very, very easy. Yeah.
So, if somebody is looking for a data science job right now, be it a fresher or be it a, let's say, 5-year guy, what would be the top three, four things that person should do?
Yeah, definitely stats the priority. Even if I say it is, people are not, recruiters are not focusing on that, but everything boils down to fundamentals. If your fundamentals are not clear, you would not be properly understanding the advanced, cutting edge technologies, right? So stats is the must. You should be really good at coding. I'm not saying you should be, at an advanced level of coding, but at least intermediate level, you should acquire at coding, right? So stats, coding, which is, I would recommend Python basically. No other programming language I would recommend, because Python is what I'm dealing with since I got my job, right? So
Hmm.
stats, coding, machine learning, basic machine learning algorithms, then deep learning and NLP. So these five things are must if you want to get into this field. Yeah. Be it a fresher, be it experience, right? You should, like, these five things are must. Yeah.
So, how many companies you have worked, Gaurav? Is it two or three?
It's two. The first company I worked there for almost 3 years, and this is the second company I'm working on. The first company I was working as in an MNC, and now I'm working in a startup.
What kind of use cases would you like to talk about? Some of the interesting use case.
Yeah, definitely. In the MNC I worked upon, right? I was a part of credit risk, right? Risk analytics domain. So there I worked on B2B credit scores, right? Which is like, the way you have CIBIL score, right, for individuals. We had B2B scores similar to CIBIL scores for companies, right? So based on the score will decide the credibility of those companies, and the banks or other institutes will, other organizations will make a decision whether to do business with them or not. So this was the use case in my the MNC I worked upon. And the startup I'm working upon, it uses, it is more over NLP domain, NLP driven. So it uses all those latest. We use all the latest, Gen AI models, right? And the work, moreover, revolves in prompt engineering. So in my previous organization, this is the big difference. Okay, in my previous organization, we were not allowed to use ChatGPT.
Hmm.
So right, and in this organization, 90% of the work I do is using ChatGPT. As I said, I'm more over a prompt engineer than a data scientist for that matter. So this is the difference between using the technologies in the MNC and startup.
Hmm. Yeah.
And things are very feasible, very easygoing in startup. Like, you have lot of ownership. You have total ownership of what you're doing, but that's not the case in MNCs. You have to go through multiple layers of validation. Your team lead, your manager, manager's manager, all they have to approve, and then it will go into like, further testing and all this thing. But here you are the sole owner of the work you have been assigned, right? So you need to write the code, you need to understand the problem, you need to write the code, solve it, be it a coding solution or analytical solution, right? You need to solve it, you need to test it, and then you need to advise them, okay, this is how my code is, this is how it might, other functionalities might affect my code, right? And yeah, like, you have, basically, you have more ownership over your task in a startup than you will have in an MNC. This is what my experience is.
Correct. Different types of learning happen. So, I'll just share a bit of my experience as well. In all size of organizations, you will learn different things. So don't hate any type of organization. If you are working in a big organization, MNC, right? You will understand how you fit in a giant ship, how you are a small component of a giant machine, and that learning is very important. Learning processes, systems, how the big multi-million dollar projects are run, how the requirement come, how the delivery happens. All the learnings are very important. In startups, if you go, you will learn how as an individual you will focus on the getting things out of the door. So your focus has to be getting things out of the door without going too much into formalities. So every size of company has its own learning, and you should not again blacklist some of the companies in your mind saying that this is something I will never work in.
Very true,
So
very true.
yeah, having said that, Gaurav, I want to have a quick lightning kind of round with you. Okay,
Okay.
I'll ask you one question. You have to tell me answer in, let's say, one word or few words. Fine.
Okay. Sure, let's go.
One skill without which you will not call a data scientist a data scientist.
Um, Playing around with data, manipulating the data, right?
Manipulating the data. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are interviewing a fresher, what is one question you will definitely ask to that fresher?
Yeah. Again, like I would ask, explain any project, any situation where you have worked on a very messy data, or you haven't, you have been, assigned, you have been given data in very improper condition, right? And how you manage to get to a, proper solution with that using that data. So that's how I'll get to know, whether he has actually worked on any project or not, and his experience in data field.
So this is to all the freshers. This is how he will trap you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, an area of data science which you feel is less important now. It was previously important, now it is less important.
Yeah. Like I said, classical statistics, the standard statistics, right? People are more focusing on the cutting edge technologies than the classical statistics.
Awesome. You will refer unfold data science videos to fill in the blanks.
I would say until now, like, be even if you're a fresher, even if you're an experienced, right? If you're a fresher, you have, from A to Z, like how to get into data science, what is data science, right? And what all steps you need to follow to become a successful data scientist, right? For fresher, it's a gem. Like it's I cannot stress more on that, stress enough on that. But even if you are a experienced professional, right? I'll just give you an example, right? So um, if you are like 0 to 3 years of experience, and I'll like you will definitely struggle at understanding algorithms like XGBoost, gradient boost, and random forest. The way sir has explained these algorithms, like I never found any simpler example than the explanation of the classical XGBoost which you have explained. So be it a fresher, be it experienced, I will definitely recommend them to go through your videos.
Thanks, Gaurav. And last but not the least, which many people are interested in. So
Mhm.
we spoke in June 2021. You were a fresher. You
Yeah,
were not even a fresher looking for a job. Now you are 3 years
yeah,
into industry in a startup. So Gaurav's
yes.
journey from zero to X lakhs per annum. What is X?
Okay, so I might not be able to give you the exact figure, but I would say every month I can afford buying 3 iPhones. So that would be my
Amazing.
current. Yeah.
Any last moment points you want to add, Gaurav, to the freshers or people who are watching this?
Yeah, definitely. I would tell them ki, see, I get it. It's very tough to get into data science field. There are less job opportunities. It's very tough. The syllabus is very tough. I would say, a lot of people will discourage you. Ki, it's very tough. It's not worth your efforts. and at the end of the day, you might not end up getting a job in data science, right? But I would say if you are really good at what you do, if you be consistent, right, in your efforts, if you like, you code every day, then you work on the projects every day. You work on variety of projects, not just basic ML, but you work on deep learning, NLP, all the cutting edge technologies you can implement, right? If you are really good at your work, and you showcase them, and you need to you present your work via LinkedIn, maybe via Twitter, right? Network yourself, right? Improve your network, widen your network, right? You will definitely end up at a good place. I'm telling you, it's very tough, but it's not impossible. So this is what I would tell the aspiring data scientist. Yeah.
That's great to hear, and you have a very inspiring story, Gaurav. Thanks for sharing that with us. And we will keep talking at Unfold Data Science as usual. And
Yep.
thank you very much for taking out time and speaking to us.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot again, for having me here.
I'll drop Gaurav's LinkedIn. Gaurav is very helpful. If you want to reach out to Gaurav, just you can reach out on LinkedIn. Don't hesitate, guys.
Definitely, definitely. I'll be more than happy then to help you guys out. Yep.
Thanks, Gaurav.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye.